Guys! So I just did this video and I'm gonna call that last video the sort of bloopers. And by the way, let me introduce you to one of my friends. Fake friends. It's like when you meet someone where they've trained with swords or staffs or whatever, they always name their weapon. My weapon of choice now is my music. And we all need that, actually. I think that's one of the reasons why YouTube is so big. Because so many people realize that there is something missing and that it's a particular type of person that's not there. So instead of complaining about it or just looking and going, oh, it's not there, they bring them there. They open up their homes through a video, like what I'm doing right now, or their closets, and they talk to people. And I appreciate that so much. You rock, woman. Anyways, so this is the video. This is the video about INFJs and friendship. And in case you haven't gotten it yet, I'm gonna say number one thing that INFJs really appreciate in friendship is a track record, is consistency. And that's why I asked, for those of you who don't know, that's why I asked Braxton Mills if they would, I don't know if it's their answer was to know more about INFJ friendship, what INFJs value in a friend. Those were their exact words. So that's what this is about. And we're already 11 minutes in, so I have to cut it short very soon. Because I've noticed people might have a short attention span. Who knew? People might have a short attention span. So we value someone who says that they care, and then they follow up and they show that they care. Had a lot of friends that said that they cared and then disappeared. Not disappeared as in they didn't call me every single day, so I didn't know if they were in existence anymore. I don't need that. I don't need stalking. But, if they're like, oh, you didn't call me today and we talked just yesterday, it's like, I think you'll live. And they're like, oh, that's really harsh, It's like, oh, okay, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But, yeah, there are some people where they get really upset because they didn't talk to so-and-so 5 days out of the 7. I'm not one of those people. I think most INFJs are not. However, if you say that you care, and if you say after that you are going to do some sort of action that requires follow-up or even a certain level of repetition in that action, like coming back again and again. If you say, like, if I opened a restaurant and you say, oh, well, when are your specials or lunch? I'll definitely come here for lunch. And then you do little sort of drive-by wave things and you don't come in, that's bad. But if you never came to lunch for that whole week, as an INFJ, it's like, well, okay, were they hurt? Did something happen that took their, that needed their attention a little bit more? Was someone hurt? Did something bad happen? It's about a loyalty thing. And if the answer is no, then it's just, okay, not coming in was more important than coming in, or saying they're going to come in was more important than actually doing it, which invalidates the thing they said and actually makes you question everything else they say and they do afterwards. Because the question is, what is their motive? Their motive is certainly not actually whatever they said or whatever they hinted at as the motive. The motive wasn't actually friendship. The motive wasn't actually, compassion or whatever. So what was it really? What are they actually getting out of it? It makes you just convinced that that person is not genuine or generous as well. They're not giving for other people, they're giving for themselves. Somehow they're giving something to themselves when they say to you, "Oh, I feel really bad this is happening to you, and I want to do something really nice for you. I'll call you about this or that and the other thing." They never call you, but they wave and they smile. It's because they feel good about that nice thing they said that other day. Because giving to you was almost like giving to a charity, and it made them feel good that they did that. They didn't actually have to do anything else after that to feel good. They already did the thing that made them feel good. That's really, really weird for an INFJ, because for an INFJ, it's like if I didn't follow up and do the thing after I got that person's hopes up, if I promised to do A, B, and C, I never did any of them, then I did worse than lie because I just didn't care enough to do it. That's so bad to an INFJ. So I would say consistency, um, action. Action is really important. Just saying it is not enough. Saying it is important, but just saying it is not enough. Also, we don't necessarily love surprises, I think. I think some INFJs like surprises a little bit more. But generally speaking, surprises are disconcerting. When someone just tells you outright, look, I think that I'm going to drop by at some point. I don't know when that's going to happen. That's a surprise. And I know so many people are going, how is that a surprise? That's a surprise because they haven't given me an actual date. So any date that they show up will be an unexpected date. And you're saying that's not an unexpected date. They gave you a heads up. No. If they don't have an actual date pinned down, isn't there always a chance that they won't be able to do it? So there you go. That's a surprise. That's the kind of surprise that we like. We like a surprise that comes with a warning, that comes with a song and dance, that comes with a little like dee surprise is going to come eventually, but not right now. Don't worry about it. Have a nice day. Finish your cup of tea. We like that kind of surprise. Friends that just drop over like, hey, what's going on? Can I come in? Oh my God. That freaks the ass out of me. I hate that. I really hate that. So many of my friends around here do that. Oh my God. It's really uncomfortable. It's really disconcerting. You know, like you're just making your coffee. You're like, oh, I know I'm going to make a latte. And then all of a sudden, there's 3 people at your door and they want to come in. It's like, is this a surprise inspection? Do you need to see papers? Do I feed you now? What happens now? I'm not comfortable with this. You couldn't have mentioned. And one friend of mine got that pretty quickly a little while back. And so she called to tell me about the thought that she had and that she could begin driving in my general direction or not, depending on my feeling about her thought of possibly dropping by occurring to her. And then she gave me the general time frame that it would take for her to get to me if we were to stop talking right then and decide to say yes, that she could come over. I loved that. That was the best thing ever. Had her come back twice. And I realized that might seem like kind of anal retentive, but the other thing is this: INFJs, whether you're a T or an A, whether you're paying attention only to the 16 personalities or something else, we care about people, like a lot, a little bit too much, but we care about people. And so therefore, we take the cue as to that person's character by how they treat us. We take the way they treat us as proof of the thing that's happening behind their face. The ideas and the emotions behind everything that they do is being kind of guessed at or guesstimated by what they are doing and what they are saying and what they might be trying to hint at by not saying while doing different things and actually saying different things. Kind of like, when people hint at something and they're like, you know. And you're thinking, I have no idea. No one knows. No one knows what you're saying. Every moment with another human being is just like that moment. No one knows what you're saying right now, but if I just keep watching, you'll let something slip and then I'll know what it is. Maybe. Or actually, also, none of us believe that we will know completely the entire story. Every person is this very in depth, very complicated, beautiful, woven tapestry mystery thingy. And therefore, we don't believe and we don't pretend to think that we're ever going to fully understand another human being as much as we'd like to. And that's part of the awesome thing and the really sad thing about knowing anyone. So that's another thing. I think that a lot of times we're just a tiny bit sad for no actual reason because we overthink stuff and we relish the overthinking. We enjoy it. We realize it's a part of our character. And so I think that's something else we kind of enjoy in another friend when that friend tells us what they're thinking rather than us guessing at it, rather than us being in the dark trying to grope around for a light switch and just praying to God it's the right switch, and that we're not going to fall through something in the floor. So, you go through this, I think, with whether it's your religious friends, whether it's your uptight friends, whether it's your this friends or that friends, you're always thinking, well, these are the top qualities or the qualities that have bubbled up to the surface. Like when you're making a roux or when you're making a soup and like the gross, I don't do this very much anymore. I'm trying to go back to a vegetarian lifestyle, but when the sort of beef broth comes up to the top and it's all gross and on top of the water like some strange pond scum, you're like, yeah. You're going, well, so each one of my friends, they have this sort of moniker or this sort of title. This is the uptight friend. This is the friend that thinks everything in the world is a lie. This is the friend that thinks that I'm a gullible idiot. This is the friend that thinks that I'm oddly deep for my age and they keep forgetting that I'm not 15. All your friends have these things. We are constantly wondering what is underneath that sort of pond scum resembling beef broth gross stuff on the very top. What's in there? So when a friend just comes out and they say, listen, I have no idea what you were talking about in that video. I got a little bit worried. I need you to tell me whether or not I should be worried or not. Then you can just ask them, okay, what specifically would require your worry? What specifically would not require your worry? Because then I can just tell you if those things are present, if those things were present. And if their answer is, I was worried that you're still Wiccan, because that's creepy for me. You just go, nope, next. And you move on. Or you go, nope, next. And then they move on. But regardless of the answer, they did this kindness for you. So they took that weight of that worry and that constant trying to figure out what's going on with that other person away. So that was a very loving gesture. When your friends just come out and they tell you, that is something. So that's upfrontness, straightforwardness, not necessarily, how do you think I look? Oh my God, your butt has never looked that terrible before. It is humongous. And what is happening with these caterpillars here? It doesn't have to be that. Just be like, well, I'm sorry. I don't think that is the most flattering thing for you. And I think that you would look really amazing like so and so or like such and such if these were a little bit thinner. Like you go with the more positive thing, but you also tell us. So I think that's what INFJs really appreciate and really value in friendship. Basically being upfront, being honest, being consistent, and being thoughtful overall, including not putting you on the spot, but making you a part of the consideration process. That is what INFJs love and prefer. And I see there's a second person here. Thank you, second person. I'm signing off now. This video is about everything that INFJs value and love in a friend and in friendship, which is basically consistency, caring about your feelings, not dropping by your house at 8 o'clock in the morning and being like, "Can I come in?" Uh, and actually telling you what the hell is happening in their crazy chicken soup of a mind, and just letting you know up front, this is what's happening and this is what I'm worried about or whatever. So you can just go ahead and you can talk about it with them. You can just get it out in the open. And those are the things that INFJs really appreciate. And oh, of course, honesty. If we find out that you were lying at some point or omitting something, we're going to assume that you're always omitting something. And so we're never going to tell you anything, because we're going to assume that you're never going to fully hear it or appreciate or listen to it or take it face value, because we can't take you at face value. So why would you take us at face value? So honesty, 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 honesty. That's what INFJs need. That's what they love. That's what we prefer. Love you guys. Bye. This went on for too long.